Hello, welcome to a modern stream. It's been a minute, but we're finally back. Fortunately, had to take a short and unwanted break, but things are back on track now, and I had to make it up to you folks, so we're doing something unnecessarily spicy today. We're going to be trying out Threats Undetected in Amulet, of course. This card that is probably not very good. I guess we'll find out. But for 2 and a green, you get to play a sorcery. You set your library for 4 creature cards with different powers, and you reveal them. You shuffle them into your library, and then you put the other 2. So your opponent chooses 2, and they give you the other 2. So the terrible templating of they choose the ones that you shuffle back is gonna be I'm banking on the fact that my opponent is gonna read it the other way around. That's my strat right here. Yeah, so because of this card, we can play main deck Dragon Lord Dromoka, and now all of a sudden we can look for, because the creatures have to have different powers, we can find Dromoka, Primeval Titan, a Cultivator Colossus, and a Dryad. I think that's gonna be like the ideal pile. But if we need to, you know, get a Dryad or a Grace or a Steve, like if we naturally draw the Dromoka or the Cultivator Colossus, we can always pivot to find like an Azusa Steve or a Gracer if we need to. Obviously that's not ideal, but it is what it is. This version of the deck is a little bit more heavily slanted towards white, not only for Dragon Lord Dromoka, obviously, but also for a card in the sideboard, Hallowed Moonlight, which there's been like a pretty significant uptick in creativity decks. You can check out the episode of Mishra's Bubble, which literally just came out. We recorded with Gabe yesterday, and we talked about how creativity did insanely well in this past weekend's challenge. So you can check that out. And we also have Moonlight pretty good against the Yorhinos deck, which is going to be coming up as well. The Living End deck as well. So against all of the Cascade decks and like decks that are trying to trick creatures or make tokens, how Moonlight can be pretty reasonable because it just cycles. So worst case scenario, you still have it. You still get your card back, which is very nice. So those are going to be the cards that we're trying out, and of course, Kuda and Elder Garderoth. Kuda works very well because we don't have a 4 for Threats Undetected. The Gargs is not going to be as well because we're always going to choose Primeval Titan over the big Gargs, so that doesn't quite work. But Endurance is a 3-power creature, so you see how this is just optimal deck building, right? Especially with the 61 cards, because I really wanted to have a second copy of Threats Undetected so I could draw it more often, and I really did not want to cut anything else. So yeah, optimal deck building. However you want to slice it, this is optimal. This is what peak deck building looked like, whether you like it or not. Yeah, we have the one of basic planes that we can fetch with Steve versus decks like Murktide or other Blood Moon decks, and then like the extra Boseiju for when we want to be cutting some number of Ursa Sagas in post-Cyber games. Dismembers, Endurance, Force, Exterior Explosives, the oldies but goodies, some cyber staples all over the place. We're gonna be trying this out through a Modern League. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for round number 1. Alright, so this hand is absolutely perfect, right? Slam it. We're playing against the Yorion deck, so I'm assuming 4-color here. Well, I mean, I was going to go turn 1 Saga anyway, so and just slam this Amulet. Next turn we get to basically spit out our entire hand, which is pretty funny. Even if they have a prismatic ending for the Amulet, we just don't really care here. Oh yes! The turn 2 Ren plus get nothing. Tried and true strat. Tried and true strat. Okay, so what are we doing here? We are going to play second Amulet, play Bounce. We're gonna do some land bouncing here. We're gonna bounce this. We're gonna play Azusa, leaving green floating. Then I can play Cavern on Giant. And I guess I can play Valakut. This ensures that I'm gonna be able to, even through Solitude, I'm gonna be able to play all my land drops. Then play a Dryad, because my opponent didn't Solitude my Azusa. And now we also get to play Steve, and next turn we're gonna win. So that's cool. We also get to make a token out of the deal, which is not bad either. Jeff Cat with a tier 1 sub, 35 months. Thank you so much for the continued support. A veces, César, los que se van a suscribir te saludan. ¿Qué haces, Sergio? Seems like a decent turn 2. It's an okay turn 2. It's gonna be a better turn 3, let me tell you that much. What are my thoughts on Crisis on Amulet? It's a great sideboard plan. Don't play it in the main deck, are my thoughts. Opponent has lost connection to the game. Okay. Alrighty, so we're gonna play out Steve as well. And we're gonna call it. Pass the turn back. So opponent can minus to kill the Steve here. I don't think we particularly care about that. I've neglected Amulet too much. I'm looking to get back into it, but the tech has evolved so much without me. Yep. Tech is evolving quick. The Fairy Time Raveler? How can I ever beat that? That's actually pretty good though. Like bouncing the Saga is kind of annoying. So I'm laughing about it, but I'm also not laughing about it, you know. Bienvenido de vuelta, Ivancito querido. Silence is not a viable cyber card. It seems a little bit lackluster, you know. Like it's fine, but like it's basically the same as the other thing, right? So I'm just gonna start triggering Valakut here. So can I Valakut that one? Always yes, always yield. I'm gonna float mana because I can, of course. But not because it matters. And the fact that they took the damage means that they don't have Solitude, so I'm just going to go face with this one. And we're going to attack Teferi and attack them. So this is looking pretty good for the good guys. Thoughts on 5-color creativity? Surprisingly, I have most of the cards that set Ren and too late not binding. I think it's very, very good. I think it's very, very good. Silence is the best in Pioneer in the Sound of Silence. Yes. Did we actually 3-2 with that garbage pile or something like that? I remember it being great. Just draw Titan and don't care about your Saga getting bounced. Yeah, I mean, we drew a land and we didn't care about our Saga getting bounced, so. What is this? Upkeep Solitude. Okay. Can I do that? Bone Daddy, tier 1 sub, 28 months. Thank you so much, Bone Daddy. Okay, so what this does is this denies the extra land drops, but it doesn't deny the Valakut trigger. Cause layers. Don't make me want to explain how this works. Let's just say layers and move on. Super glad to be catching the stream again. I feel like I've not seen one for ages. Feel like to see it in a while. Yeah, I just have not streamed in a while, unfortunately. Layers, yep. We should have a layers command. There we go. Opponent has found the concede button. Good for them. Okay, so we want this mostly because we're gonna run out of targets for Steve. We want these just because they're threats. I can cut a couple of Gracers. I guess they have Magus, so I want Dismembers. Cultivator's fine. I want to cut one Ursa Saga, maybe two. 2 is probably fine. And I guess we want to cut one more card. Maybe one Summoner Spect. Has tech gone too far? I mean, probably it hasn't gone far enough. Look at this hand. Look at this hand. You want to Blood Moon me, opponent? I dare you. I dare my opponent to Blood Moon me here. Oof. Oof. It's a classic primetime with a monocle. Yeah. That's awesome. No turn 2 Ren. So I think my opponent is going to turn 3 Magus me. And we're going to be ready. I dare you to Magus me, opponent. Kuda should have been a 4-drop. I think the red one was a 4-drop. The red 1 dragon. Wait, iteration? I can beat that. Can we beat this, chat? I think we can beat this. I think I'm just gonna slam a Susa here. Should have played Slayer instead to really rub it in on turn 3? No, probably not. Chalice for 0. Oh no. Oh no, not the Chalice. I guess I'm gonna name Dragon here. Put the fear in my opponent's eyes. Nothing like some good old Dargan magic. Prismati Kending my Azusa. You got me. Well, okay, we're gonna start to draw. We're gonna need to start drawing good cards here. Deck. Deck, I would like you to deliver good cards, please. Actually, I guess I fucked up. Like, I should have played Sanctuary instead of the other one, because now I can't. Now I'm not gonna be able to double strike Dragon next turn. Look at my Dragon, opponent. Just look at it. ¿Qué haces, Mordi querido? Woo! I think we're about to get Solitude though, which I'm not too hyped about. I mean, we have another Dargon, so there's that. Damn it. So I think I can double spell here. Yeah, I can double spell. Boop. And boop. Gonna name Giant with this one. And I'm not gonna play any more lands because we have Cultivator. Green. There we go. More Dargans. Dargan. This nuts. Nice. Nice. Well played. Well played. Well played. I can respect a good these nuts joke. Obi-Wan, thank you so much for the 20 months. Hello again to you as well. Do we have another Solitude opponent? Let's see if we can draw like real cards, you know? Oh, Fury. They have Fury. So they're just gonna Fury my Dryad? Kind of annoying that Chalice prevents me from tutoring. Lurus AK. Aaron, 48 months, 4 years, and you're gonna break my heart and tell me Amulet is inviolable. Like, I mean, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, if Amulet wasn't good, would I be playing Threats Undetected? Right? I would not, of course. Threats Undetected. Let's draw it. Let's do it. Damn it. So we're chilling on these lands. I think I just attack with Kuda. And I clear the Ren and 6. And do I main face Dismember? Yes, because my opponent has Yorion. They're just going to be able to do like a bunch of things otherwise. Actually, let's stop like, you know, normal person. 1, 2, 3. Dismember that. Yeah, double strike is pretty sexy. Oh, actually, oh no, this is fine. This is fine. Because like I can't double strike now, right? But I think that's fine. Because it doesn't matter, like this is just a fine block. I guess they could have another Ren and 6, but if they do, they're throwing away the Solitude anyway, which is where I care about. So if they're just playing Yorion here, this is not the best Yorion that I've ever seen. And they're kind of need to make a choice, right? Do they kill this or do they kill this? They can't kill both. We don't have any, like we have Boseiju, like we have other ways to answer this. So like, I'm not super worried about the Chalice. It's just weird that it lined up like this, you know? Not to say that Chalice is a bad card against us, like it's fine. Like it's an okay card against us. So we have like infinite good draws here. We have straight up infinite good draws. So I guess we can't transmute regardless. So I'm just gonna play this out. And I guess I'm gonna pass the turn because they don't have attacks. Like if my opponent wants to trade Yorion for my Kuda, I'm all about it. But I'm gonna save this Dismember for Omnath. I think that Omnath is the big prize here. Yeah. So trigger on the stack, we're gonna Dismember it. Obviously, it's not the best exchange, but gotta do what we gotta do. Oh yes. Oh yes. Throw that bubble into the Chalice, opponent. Ugh. Unlucky. Unlucky. We can double strike this. Am I serving? I swing for 8. They go down to 10. We take 7. Yeah, that's just not a good exchange for us, I don't think. So I'm just gonna pass. I mean, this is bad if they draw a Teferi, though. Yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna serve. They're gonna they're basically taking 5. Oh, really? Well, I actually want this trade to happen so I can tutor for 3 lands. Like, this seems fantastic for me. Oh. That's really good for them. I mean, I can give the double strike afterwards, so I'm still killing the Yorion. But obviously, like, now I'm not as stoked about this, right? So, like, I'm still trading with the Yorion, but, like, now it's not a good trade anymore. Yeah, Threats Undetected would be insane. Build with me, is this a real list that I should actually explore playing? I just picked some foils I was missing. No. I'm being real now. I mean, I would love to draw good cards here. I feel like if we draw good cards, we're gonna be in good shape. Okay. Let's see what they draw, but... I mean, this is not the best Emrakul I've ever seen, right? What can they do? Just, like, play a land? Sure. So, this Emrakul basically drew me a card. This Emrakul is a 13-13, your opponent draws a card. So what they should do is they should like play Growth Chamber. I guess they can probably just play the Dryad and make 2 land drops to make my Colossus worse. And they should bounce like probably the Cavern and replay the Cavern on something that doesn't do anything. But I still have like infinite good draws at this point here, right? Like, this is not the most impactful Emrakul I've seen. Like, I'm losing to not drawing anything. I'm not really losing to the Emrakul itself. They should name something like Antelope, you know? That's one of my favorite things to name with Cavern. I wish there was something like Koala, you know? I would like to play Cavern on Koala or like something like that. Bear. Bear is not bad. Green mana. Okay. What does green mana do? Can I draw Primeval Titan, please? Can I draw Primeval Titan? Oh, Boseiju. That's what it does. Okay. Boseiju and fail to find. So, Cultivator is fine. Primeval Titan wins the game. Gargaroth is okay. Opponent has 1 card left in hand. Like, they don't really have too much going on over there. We're just going to pass the turn, though. We're going to take 16 here. 16 is not 19. They named Wall. They named Wall. Not as creative as I would have hoped. So much garbage we drew. Okay, let's bring in the extra Boseiju. Now that we know that they have Chalice. And let's bring it over... the big Gargs. Actually, Gargs seems probably better than Kuda. Yeah, Jellyfish would have been okay. But Jellyfish actually, like, my opponent did not know that we don't have Krasis, right? So, like, Jellyfish actually does something. I don't think my opponent's playing a counterspell version, though. Funny how Threats Undetected seems actually legit in this matchup specifically. I think I want to cut a land. I think I'm just going to cut a Cavern. Yeah, just do that. It's kind of mind-blowing how the person with the lawnmower is always here when I'm streaming. Like, whenever I'm not streaming, like, we don't ever hear them. People tell me Bubble Traverse means counterspell. I don't think that's as clear cut as that. I think the general iteration list runs counterspell. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. Okay, so we're just gonna play Valakut here. Iteration means counterspell, recent reef means no counterspell. Okay, that's a fair assumption. Okay, so I guess I'm assuming counterspell then. That's not counterspell mana though. Ren and Ticks. We're gonna fetch Amulet with this. And I didn't go for... What's his name there? So here's a Dryad. And I think I'm just gonna Vesuva this Valakut here. And pass the turn. So we're pretty close to triggering these Valakuts, which is nice. Are we Titan gaming here? You know it. How you doing, Jose? Filthy Yawgmoth player now. Okay. So Dryad's gone. Opponent redraws the Flooded Strand. It's kind of sucks a little bit. Not super stoked about this. I guess I have Magus covered, so I don't really need to replay this as a basic. So we're just gonna chill here and pass the turn back. What do you got, opponent? Another Flooded Strand, which is the same that you've been playing like 4 times already. Abundant Growth. Okay, so I guess they're not gonna rent plus. Oh. They wanted to enable Delirium? That's pretty sexy, actually. That's pretty sexy. So they're gonna heat my Dryad. Can we draw Threats Undetected, man? Like, I built my deck around Threats Undetected, right? Okay, I guess I'll take a Primeval Titan. Okay, I'll take it. Actually, we can Colossus here. My Stream Decker and Cover Live told me that Amulet is in a deck I should be playing. Oh, don't just follow that. Like, Amulet is okay. Amulet is just fine. Boha down with a tier 1 sub. Thank you for the 10 months. Welcome back. I think Ultimator is like a legit choice here. I'm gonna go for Primetime though. I'm gonna go for Primetime. And I think that I want to... Do I want to haste? I could haste if I wanted to. Or I can transmute and set up another Titan. I'm gonna haste. Like, I think that Ren is actually a pretty reasonable threat here. I may get super punished for this. I may get super punished for this. I think it's actually likely that they have... Yeah, I think that I'm probably gonna get punished for this, but like the Ren represents a very real threat here. If I transmute next turn, I pay for Pact. I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna be short on mana. Yeah, I think that we're falling pretty far behind, so I'm gonna go for this. All right, Solitude me. Or not. I'll also take that. So now we're doing T-West Growth Chamber. And I'm gonna be bouncing... I think I want to bounce a bounce land. So 4 to pay for Pact. 4 to pay for Pact. 1, 2, 3 to transmute. So I'm not gonna be able to do anything next turn. So I guess I'm just gonna bounce Growth Chamber here. Gonna teach the kids how Amulet still go back in a challenge top 8 at least, but not having every weekend is not. Yeah. It's rough out there. It did top 8 the showcase. And put another copy in the top 8. Kenpachi with the tier 1 sub, 37 months. Thank you so much, Kenpachi. Welcome back. Keeping it spicy. Oh, you know it. That's what I do. The good thing here, like this dismember is really clutch. This dismember is so clutch. So no Solitude last turn, or at least no white card. I'm gonna pay for this pact. Actually, let's pay like this. That's nice. Double bubble week in the friend stream. Life is good. Hope you. Thank you, Torborg. Welcome back for the 2020 mounts. I think we just attack. I'm just gonna do this now so I can guarantee that I use the mana. My opponent could have... They could have Dress Down. Okay. Really? All right. Okay, we pass. It's pretty good. For us, I mean. It's definitely not good for them. It's pretty good for us. Omnath. Boop. Dude, like this dismembers? Holy shit, I've been doing work. They have Ephemerate. Okay. Got me. Got me, I guess. I guess they can slam Magus here, and that would be a problem. If they had Ephemerate into Magus, I guess that's gonna be this. I can... Okay, that's not Magus. Whew. Yeah, they're about to get cultivated. Otawara has been bounced. So now they can bounce my Amulet? Sure. Oh, Prismatic Ending. Okay. Okay. Alright, so. What are we doing here? So now that they killed my Amulet, it makes things slightly more awkward. Because they can Emrakul me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. So, since they can Emrakul me, how do I play around that? I can bog them. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go for Dryad plus Titan. I think we just have to pivot into into a Dryad plus Titan sort of kill. We know one of their cards is a land. Here's this. And yeah, I'm just gonna play Primeval Titan here. If they have it, they have it. They don't. All right, sick. Actually, I want to find Boros Garrison and Growth Chamber here. Yeah, because I have 2 draw steps, 2 extra lands. Always yes, always yes, always yield. Bounce this. Tap for red. It's kind of unfortunate that I killed him. I should have killed the Omnath, so I would have gotten to attack. That was a punt. That was a punt. My bad. All right. See you next round. Am I contractually obligated to keep this hand? Yo, we can Threats Undetected for Asusa, Dryad, Steve, and Gracer. I mean, it's probably not a good play because we're gonna basically pass on turn 3 to do that, but it's just cute to think about, you know? This hand is okay though. It's a little bit on the slow side of things, but it's okay. Can go turn 1 Saga, try to get that going. Den of the Bugbear. Gracer off the top. Arboreal Gracer. I summon thee. So I'm about to get Blood Moon, right? That's what's gonna happen here. I don't play around it and I concede to it, so it's fine. The thing is that if my opponent does not have the Blood Moon, they're gonna be in for a world of pain. A world of pain, I tell you. No, not my prime time. Wastes. There we go. So this is like the garbage Eldrazi deck. Dude, I've played against this deck so many times. They have a grand total of like 6 colorless sources. Otherwise, they get locked under their own Blood Moon. It has never mattered. I've never seen them not have a colorless source. They're playing like 6 of them. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you get like a free pass whenever you register that shitty deck. I don't know if they just give you a free pass and they're just like, yeah, you got it. Don't worry about it. You will just draw your colorless sources always, and that's why people don't play more colorless sources. But every single time I played against this deck, my opponent has had the colorless source, and they have like Blood Moon me every single time. It's wild. Do I want a Dragon Lord? I feel like I kind of do. Yeah. You don't put inside Force of Vigor? We have 3 Posages that we can tutor for with Expedition Map and stuff. I don't think that you want to be playing Force of Vigor now. Like, it's literally the 4 Blood Moons, right? Like, they have nothing else that matters. Chalice doesn't particularly matter, and so no. I don't think. Like, your opponent's an aggressive deck, right? Like, it's for the same reason that I don't bring in Force against Murktide, even though they're also a Blood Moon deck. Same against Rhinos, back when, you know, it was Timor Rhinos. This looks okay. Gonna keep this. So we can go turn 1 Gracer into T-West, turn 2 Drive. If we don't need Force of Vigor this deck. Well, Force of Vigor is for the decks that really only rely on Blood Moon. So that would be like the more prison-y style decks like Ponza and stuff like that. It's very good against Hammer. Hammer is still one of the top decks in the format. And also for the mirror match as well. There are still matches for Force of Vigor. Just because we don't play it in these matchups doesn't mean that we don't play them, you know? Oh. I think I want to Cavern on Dragon here. And I'm gonna Threats Undetected right now. Primeval Titan. I think I want Steve. I think I want Kuda. And I want the Dragon Lord. However, consider Tierra Sander for the wars, probably overkill though. Well, the thing is, like, it's not easy to kick her, right? So at that point, you're just playing a worse Force of Vigor because it costs mana, and you can't have it not cost mana. So never imagine we don't put in Force of Vigor versus a turn 2 Blood Moon deck. I mean, it's a turn 2 Blood Moon deck. They have 4 ways to play Blood Moon on turn 2, which is the 4 monkeys. My opponent just happened to have turn 1 monkey into turn 2 Blood Moon with the wastes. Like, that's not gonna happen very often. You know what I'm saying? They got the literal nut draw. And we would have been able to stop it if we had had our own Gracer, right? So I wonder if my opponent does not give me Steve here. Because obviously this is like 3 threats and a random Steve, right? And I didn't get a Dryad, which I could have gotten instead of the Steve. So like clearly I'm up to something, right? So I wonder if my opponent is gonna read into it and figure out that they don't want to give me Steves. Yeah. Alright. I mean, we can really punish them if we draw a bounce land. Like, if we draw a bounce land, we just destroy them. Bounce land. Basic plains. I'll take a basic plains. 1, 2, 3. And now, I think I don't play that out. Because if they do have Blood Moon, I can just blow it up. There we go. Bounce land. Ooh! Woo! It's getting hot in here. I mean, I could just straight up play a Dragon Lord if I play out the Boseiju. I don't think that's what's up, though. I feel like I just chill. Like, I just swing here. And I pass the turn back. Like, they're locked out. Like, they cannot play their fucking Eldrazi's. Literally, like, half of their threats are uncastable. Literally half of their threats don't do anything because they lock themselves out. So I'm kind of actively happy that this Blood Moon is in play right here. Like, honestly, I may just pass the turn. Chalice, you got me, yeah. Like, I think we literally just chill here. I think we don't even blow up the Blood Moon. Because if we draw any land at all, now we just start hard casting our shit. Oh, I forgot that Dryad fixes our mana for Kuda. Like, that was actually a pretty bad mistake on my part. But yeah, like, half of their cards are not castable. Like, this Blood Moon is doing so much work for me. Nice bloodman you got over there, opponent. Yep. You got me. Oh, this is great. I would like to attack you in game 5. Dargon! I'm not pulling this out because if I do decide to blow up this, then I can bounce the T-West and transmute it, so. Yeah, and this is because I brain farted and I didn't cast this when I could. Nice blood moon. Seems very strong against me. They can't steal my creature with the Eldrazi. Like, they can't pay for the kicker. They literally lock themselves out. Like, that's why I don't understand this deck. I just don't get it. Yeah, exactly. This makes a lot of sense to me. I don't understand this deck. Like, it just makes no sense to me. I remember it showed up like about a year ago and it was all the rage for a minute there. But I don't know. Whatever. Whatever. Dude, like, Threats Undetected was sick there. I think I may want to do that. Especially considering that my opponent brought in Chalice and they played it for 0. Pretty sure they give some people who hate themselves. I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it's one of those things where it seems like somebody built the deck and then like a bunch of people just copied and pasted the list. But nobody really like stopped for a second and said, what are we doing here? Like, what am I actually trying to accomplish here? I feel like nobody actually went through that part of the whole process. I think we mulligan this because we get got by an early thingy. Man, this hand is just so close. I think we have to ship it too. This hand is good though. I like this hand. So keep this, bottom Kura, and I think I'm gonna bottom Growth Chamber. So any untapped land is good. That's one of the better ones. So that's awesome. What's up, JC? How's it going? Dude, I'm telling you, I've never seen them not have it. It's wild. They have like 6 of them in their entire deck, counting the prismatic vistas. And they always have it, dude. It kind of blows my mind, honestly. They didn't have it last... that's true, they didn't have it last game. Yeah, that's true. Sure. Am I cracking Steve now? I don't think so. I think we just do this. I can crack Steve next turn. Please tell me you're missing a land drop. Like, if they're missing a land drop, that would be such a delight. 2 out of 3 where they have in a Blood Moon is a sketch. Yeah. I mean, it's still pretty high, right? Does Prismatic Vista get waste as well? Yes. So Prismatic Vista gets waste, but you cannot find wastes off of Boseiju. It's weird. I honestly have no idea why, but that's just the way that it works. Don't ask me. I don't know. And if anybody asks, I'm just gonna say layers, okay? If anybody asks, how does that work? I'm just gonna go ahead and say layers and not worry about it. Okay, so they don't have... They do have a land drop. Okay. So because I can't draw a Thought-Knot here, I can't draw a Primeval Titan and cast it here, I get punished if I find exactly Kura. Hey, look at that. Okay, so I guess this time I am actually going to Boseiju right now, because it means I get to play Ursa Saga. And they could have another Blood Moon effect. That would be obviously bad for me, but it kind of is what it is. Opponent shuffling is sus? Yeah, exactly. The shuffler is rigged. The shuffler is rigged. Boseiju makes you search for land with a basic land type. Always are just a basic land with no basic land type. Sounds strange. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I know that's how it works. It's just weird to me that that's how it works. So we can cast any threat that we find. Another Vista. I mean, they didn't attack with Den, so I'm assuming they have something here. Maybe another Blood Moon. Of course they have another Blood Moon. Kura! I mean, I'm gonna play out the Gracer. It blocks a Dashed Monkey. I'm not gonna chump the Thought-Knot, though. Oh, right, of course. Of course they're gonna draw the Fury there, right? Alright, Kura, let's go. Kura, Gargs, big Gargs. Or just the Growth Chamber, sure. This feels like a meta matchup. I mean, the thing is that this is a bad deck. It's actually not a bad matchup. Like, my opponent had Blood Moon on turn 2, game 1. Blood Moon on turn 3, which we beat. And then they had double Blood Moon on game 3. Like, it's one of those things where, I mean, sometimes you're just gonna get got. And, like, this is not even game over, right? Like, now I trade with Fury. I get a free 6/6 out of these. Like, we're still playing here. Except my opponent is the best top decker in the whole damn world. Best top decker this side of the Mississippi, you know? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a forced block here, so it's just what it is. So if I draw 3 lands... If I draw 3 lands, I need the 6/6. Okay. Gargaroth, come to me. Elder Gargaroth. Oh my god, they have Strike It Reach, dude. In their chalice deck... Dude, they have Strike It Rich in their mid-range deck, man. They have Strike It Rich in their mid-range deck. Wow. Wow. What a deck building masterpiece. What a deck building masterpiece. Wow. Just wow. Alright, what do we got here? Turn 1 Gracer into Saga. This hand fucks. This hand fucks. We're on the draw though. Unlucky. Ursa's Power Plant? Oh no. Oh no, Ursa's Power Plant. How can I ever beat an Ursa's Power Plant? How can I ever? Wow. It's the realest and most serious of all Tron decks. It's the papa of all Tron decks. It's the papa of all the Tron decks. Hell yeah. Mono blue Tron. You love to see it. Am I making construct here? If I make a construct, these are gonna be 3/3s. Then I get to play bounce land. Because I want to play around the removal. I guess what I can do... Because I can't play around remand. Worst case scenario, I make a construct here. But I can't play around remand. But I can play around condescend, which is nice. Stifle bird, dude. The hits don't stop coming, chat. The hits don't stop coming. I'm gonna play that out, and I'm gonna play that out. Dear Diary, today I got Stifle Bird. Today my opponent cycled Stifle Bird, and they took my Ursa Saga construct. Karn the Great Creator? Sure. So now my opponent's dead, I guess? I'm 1 mana short from them being dead. Chalice for 0. Oh no. Not Chalice for 0. I think I just play out my lands here. And I just kill them with Valakut triggers. Like, how do they beat my board? Mindslaver? Am I supposed to just blow up a tower? Ugh. Am I supposed to blow up a tower here? If I do, they find a land. So the problem I have with blowing up a tower is that I'm 1 further away from triggering Valakut. So that's my issue with blowing up tower. Like, this represents a land that I don't have to bounce. So I can start triggering Valakut next turn, which would be 12 damage. 11 damage, sorry, as things stand. So I think this is fine. I'm just gonna let my opponent... Like, they didn't have Tron last turn, right? If they did have Tron last turn, they would have played it. Because, like, they would have been able to Karn minus for something better. It's time now I will stop like last. You would be surprised. You would be surprised. Oh, yes. Tolaria West. Oh, I should have Boseju'd in response. That was bad. Should have definitely Boseju'd in response there. 5 mana. What is this? A Walking Ballista? Oh no! How am I ever gonna beat a Walking Ballista? Did you buy it, chat? Did you enjoy that? Okay, so we go play Boseiju, play Bounce, Valakut that shit. Ping me? Ping me? Now we bounce this. We Grazer? And I guess we can transmit for another Valakut, but we can do that next turn, right? So there's no need for me to do that now. So Valakut their face, and we have lethal next turn. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna swing for a bunch here, including the Grazer, of course. And we're gonna Boseiju the Ursa's Mine, which is the one that they search for. And I'm doing this now so I don't get Stufflebird again, you know? I learned that I need to play around Stiflebird against this opponent, you know? We didn't have enough land drops, Stabs. I was one trigger short of killing them. I was one land drop short of killing them. I mean, if they don't have... So now they need to... Ugin doesn't do it. I don't think there's any card in their deck that stops me from killing them here. Dude. Blue Tron. Respect. I do respect the Blue Tron gamers. Because they are on a crusade, you know? They are just... They could be playing a real deck, but they're just like, no. No. None of that nonsense. I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot. I do not accept this, you know, play real decks lifestyle. And... yeah. Am I not a fan of Crisis? Actually, I think Crisis is fine. But I don't know if you noticed, we're playing modern staple Threats Undetected. And Threats Undetected does not work with Colossus and Crisis, because both of them are considered to have 0 power while they're in their deck. So we needed to have a different threat, like a threat with different power. So I considered it was either play Dragon Lord Dromoka or play Ekura in the main deck. I ended up edging towards playing Dragon Lord Dromoka, even though we're having like a little bit of a splash. And this is something that Mistaken was trying with, like splashing white for Hallowed Moonlight with the basic planes in the sideboard. So I was like, ah, sure, like I'll sort of make everything work together because it kind of does. So yeah, that's the story. That's my life story. Hope you enjoyed it. No, they are different in your hand. Like if the Colossus is in your hand, you're good. Like it doesn't matter. But if the Colossus is in the deck, it's considered to have 0. And I'm gonna keep this in. Like it's a little bit on the sketchy side of things, but like we can go turn 1 Amulet, turn 2 Steven. Like we can get Chalice out of the game here potentially, which may or may not be a problem. If my opponent taps a little bit too low, though, we're going to be able to punish them very nicely. There's a Chalice. We're just going to play Amulet here. It plays around both Remand and the other thing, and Condescend. I'm half tempted to play an island and a plains in the board with Crisis and Moonlight. I don't think you can do both. I think you can choose which one you want to prioritize, but I do think that if you're doing both, you're just hurting your win rate. Let's play Cavern on Giant. Giant is still like the one that we have the most creature types for. I could play the other Steve as well. I think I want to. Tap green, play other Steve, pass the turn. And this Steve now represents the 6th mana. So if I do draw a prime time, I can just cast it. Dan Francisco with a tier 1 sub, 43 months. Welcome back. But yeah, I think you need to basically choose your poison. Now you can't just do everything, because otherwise your deck just becomes a clunker. So, choose wisely, my friends. Opponent in the tank about this expedition map. Why are we behind on clock, actually? Did we just... I guess that we had just more game actions in the previous game. Opponent goes for Blast Zone instead of completing Tron. They're very scared. Look at this. Look at how I like untap my forest twice. So I play that out. That's the 6th mana. We play Azusa out, and we chill. Because if I find a blue source, also shout out. I was gonna say shout out to the fact that I know that we have only 6 mana here, but chat, are you ready for this? Are you ready for this, Twitch chat? I don't know you're ready for this. I don't know if you're ready for this. Boseiju cost 1 mana. Legendary creature, baby. Woo! Is this hot or what? Is this hot or what? We're gonna go double growth chamber here. I want to have double blue. This also resets my cavern if I want to name something else. It's also good to hold bounce for Dryad. That's also true, yeah. So there's multiple reasons to not play out the Sanctuary last turn. They have 6 mana. They can play a Wormcoil Engine. Thirstful Knowledge. So I guess technically they can Ugin -6 here. And I'm stuck paying for Pact next turn. Okay, looks like they don't have an easy decision because they're kind of in the tank here. They should have probably like tapped 1/1/1 though. Because they leave blue untapped and they can cast Ugin regardless. I don't think there's a difference between 9 and 10 mana. Also, why do they have explosives in their deck? They should not have that. Oh yes. Azusa, I salute you. I salute you, Azusa. 1, 2, 3. I guess for 5, 4. So now we just transmit for Dryad. Summoner's Pact, Pact, Dryad. Play Dryad. Swing. Yes. Valakut Vesuva. Boop. I would like to choose your face, please and thank you. Your face shall... Oh, they get to draw? Oh, wow. Opponent says, there's the tower. Like, yeah. I mean, they couldn't have cast this anyways, right? So, even if they had found the tower, like, it wouldn't have changed anything. They were just dead anyway. Mono Blue Tron. Always respect for the Mono Blue Tron gamers. Always respect for them. So, you know how I always say that, you know, Eldrazi Tron is bad and whatever? Not when the Tunneling Cat is the one that I'm playing against. This hand's good, though. But if there's one person that I'm actually scared of playing Eldrazi Tron, it's Tunneling Cat. Everybody else I could not care less. So I think we just go Growth Chamber here. And we're just going to go Amulet and Gracer. Boom. Boom. I think I bounce Valakut here. The problem if I bounce Valakut is that I think I'm actually supposed to bounce this. And then Cavern, we'll play out Cavern on Giant. Actually Cavern on Dragon. Because we could draw Dragon Lord, draw Mocha. And if the Dryad dies, then we can cast anything with top deck here. Not all top decks are created equal though. Some top decks are going to be better than others here. Okay. Yeah. This is the thing I love about playing against good players. It's just like they're not fucking around, you know. It's just like she knows that she's dead. Like it's just gonna take like a couple of you know, clicks and stuff, but like there's no time to waste. Like she doesn't want to waste time. I don't want to waste time. Nobody wants to waste time, you know. So let's just pack it in, get it over with, and move on to the next game. Playing against good players is the best. Ha. So no bounce land. Yes, Amulet. Yes, big Gargs. I kind of feel like constructs are low-key very good here. This hand is kind of slow, though. If they have an early Chalice into a TKS, we could have a problem. I think I'm going to keep this hand, though, regardless. we make it... Ooh, new card? I dig it. I dig it. So our best draw here is a Susa, I think. Turn 2 TKS. Into Chalice. Hey. They could have Dismember here. That would suck for me. They don't have Dismember though. Ooh, they whiffed. They still get to draw a card though. Beating Needle. Naming Saga? Naming Boseiju. Interesting. Okay. Let's float a green mana here. Find another Amulet. Let's play Expedition Map. Let's go land. Cavern on Dragon. And we're going to swing for 2. So if they have nothing else, I'm really liking my spot. So they play the land already, so they can't have Blast Zone. I can't get blown. Oh, they could have Karn the Great Creator. Yeah, okay. Although I guess if they have Karn, I still make a construct. Yeah, if they have Karn, I still make a construct here because construct just pressures Karn. So constructs. I think I'm just getting Valakut here. Oh, I should have attacked first. That was bad. Ooh, I could get Stronghold. I just now get killed. I just, you know, get the good card as opposed to the not so good card. I missed on a point of damage. Maybe it matters. Maybe it doesn't. It's possible they should have held on to the Valakut though. All right, got there. Yeah. So obviously, as I said, scared of the Tunnel Cat specifically, but like this matchup is just so good though. Like this matchup is just so good for us that not even the Tunnel Cat could get me this time. See you next round. I snap kept this and I didn't even think about it, but I mean it's a keep, so it's fine. But we're on the play. We have turn 1 Saga. We also drew Threats Undetected, right? Uh-oh. I'm always scared of Temple Garden. Okay, that's Footfalls. That's okay. It's kind of nice here how, like, even if they have Fire Ice or something like that, it kind of doesn't matter. Turn 1 Suspend Cascade is good for me. Also, they don't have mana for the thing, which is also good for me. Amulet. Play Bounce Land. Float this. Play Dryad. Play another Dryad. Every time. No. So the thing here is I'm bringing in planes whenever I'm playing around Blood Moon or in very grindy matchups. Like if I'm playing against something like 4-color, even if I know for a fact that they don't have Magus, which I don't think that's going to be the case. I think they're more often than not going to have the Magus. But even if I do know that they don't have it, I'm still going to bring it in. The reason being because like when the matchups are grindy, then what happens is you just run out of targets for Steve. And you don't want that to ever happen. The Fairy Time Raveler. Do you have the Force of Negation? Show me the Force, opponent. There we go. Okay, so. They're basically just buying one turn. It is time. Hey, it is time. So we're getting Prime Time, of course. We're getting a Dryad. We're getting a Colossus. And the last card is going to be Steve. Honestly, very unlucky that we naturally drew our Dragon Lord. Thank you for the follow there, Galaxius. Appreciate it. Why is this card so good? Who knows? So, what's the bad case scenario here? The bad case scenario here is opponent has Solitude on one of my Dryads, and I don't get to kill the Fairy. If they do that, I don't care. So I'm just going to attack with one of them, and the other one's going to go face. It lets you get Colossus and Gracer, so it would work with Graces. Is that true? Did it allow me to do that? I honestly didn't even look, so. I mean, it's possible that I'm mistaken, for sure. Not a bad draw. Cautious hand extension right here. Cautious hand extension right there. Do we have the subtlety? Do we have the subtlety here? No, we don't. Valakut, Growth Chamber. I will save targets. And that target will be your face. There's no way they can answer. They're going to be able to answer both Dryads? Wow. I guess that's a way to do that. And it's not gonna work, but we call that an honest effort. We call that an honest effort. So next turn I get to go Dromoka into Dryad, and my opponent can't do anything about it. Ooh, we don't even show them the Dromoka? Woo! Surprise for game number 3. So this randomly counters, what's his name? I don't know if it's good. I do not know whether this card is good or not, but I'm willing to find out. Because it randomly counters Rhinos. Like this exiles tokens. So it's funny enough for me to want to give it a shot. How could I... Jack, I have to keep these creativity monsters. I need to keep them in check, you know? Remember getting obliterated by that card like 5 years ago, so that means it has to be good? Yeah, exactly. Nothing has changed in 5 years, right, for you, so literally nothing has changed. Card must be still good. Are we the baddies? I mean, you guys are popular now. You guys are cool. The creativity players are cool now, so have to keep them in check, you know? I think I keep this. Like, the blowout potential is rather high, not gonna lie, but if they don't have it, yeah, I guess I'm gonna play up map. So, force is what I want to dodge here. If opponent has force, we get super widely blown out, but it's fine. Because we're going to be able to get around wear tear. Like, by the time that they have wear tear, I'm going to be able to crack this, so it's fine. 2 mana. Are they going to fire? Are they going to ice my land? Oh, there we go. Yeah. So this is, you know, what I was saying. It's okay, chat. It's okay. The good thing is that if they do Rhinos, we just explosives and we clear the board, which is pretty nice. Rip. Yep. It happens. Like, it's fine. Again, like, when I made the play, I knew what I was getting into. It's just one of those things where... Oh, ice my land? Oh, I'm into that. Like, I knew what I was kind of, you know, getting into there. And I was okay with it. We're gonna counter the Threats Undetected. They're gonna hardcast Force. It's all coming together, yep. It has felt like every time I've drawn it, it has been surprisingly good. Which doesn't necessarily mean that the card is good, you know? It just means that somehow it has lined up great. For whatever reason. If I run into that situation often enough, I'm going to start believing on it. But so far, I'm not a believer. This is a really big swing. Also, it's kind of sick. Like, if I had plain Engineer Explosives, my opponent would have gotten to, like, Leyline Binding it and then Crushing Footfalls in the same turn, which is pretty gross. That's pretty gross. Land. That's a nice draw, I'm not gonna lie. So here we get a nice little time walk. Boop. Also just realizing that I should have brought in the basic planes. Hardcast Fury. Okay. I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do, right? Just gonna trade here. Yeah, so we're just gonna go Cavern on Giant. We're gonna resolve Primetime here. Have you considered Condemning Priest over the instant? It's easier to cast because we can Cavern of Souls, which is kind of nice. But the problem that it has is that it's a creature, so like your opponent's gonna have removal anyway for your thing. We're one land short though. I'm taking 6 here, by the way, with the Fury. And I'm gonna... Oh. I can Dragon Lord. So how much mana do I have? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Technically 9. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. So I guess I'm just gonna Summon Respect a bunch. We're just gonna Dragon Lord here. This is too great to pass up. 3, 4, 5. Actually, I want to... 6. Opponent says LOL in chat. Dude, how sick is this? Should have played around it. I mean, technically they can steal Otawara me, right? So I'm just gonna go to combat here. Yeah, as I was saying, they can steal Otawara me here. Sure. I can't pack for Steve or do anything tricky, so I'm just gonna pass. Dromoka was in Olympics of Amulet like 2017. Yes, yes. Dromoka used to be a card. Krasis used to be a card. Do you have another one? Do you have another one of those? Oh, come on, man. Oh, come on. Opponent doesn't like fun, man. I think this is fine. I do want the planes though. My opponent's not playing 80 cards, they're only playing 60. Also, I think I like Steve better than Gracer. Maybe wrong on that. Every time. Yeah, his hand sucks. This one's good though. I think I'm just bottoming Summon Respect here. Keep bottom. As a point in their list, I need to remake my Rhinos deck for the new meta. I mean, they look like that these days. The Rhino decks, that is. Am I running Threats Undetected just to make mulligan decisions easier? It does help. It does help with the mulligan decisions, that's for sure. Also, trading an Amulet for a Force of Negation is very nice for me. As opposed to trading an Amulet and a Dryad for a Force of Vigor. Ooh, no ice? Because ice would have been really good there, right? Like every time ice stops your bounce land. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm not... The nice thing here is I don't expose the Amulet. And I was going to play out the Vesuva here, copying the bounce land. The thing is now that I drew the Amulet, I don't have to do that. And this actually nets me mana next turn. But yeah, to be fair, Threats Undetected has been much better than I originally expected. I'm not gonna lie. Like, a lot better. Like, I was expecting it to be like a ha 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 meme. And it's just like, I cast it and like my opponent is like given an actually pretty tough, not easy at all choice. I'm like, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't play around 4s. I can't play around 4s. So I'm just gonna play into it. And I'd be very sad if my opponent does have it. Yep. Of course the last two cards are 4s plus green card. I'm ready for their top deck to have been Leyline Binding. My body is ready. My body is ready for the Leyline Binding. I think I can take it, chat. I am very, very ready for it. Or Dead Gone or something like that. Oh! Close eyes. Can't see. Oh my god, this attack. So if I block here, I have to block here, right? So I lose. If my opponent had Dead Gone, I would be dead. The same is true if they have Leyline Binding. So they don't have those. But what they could have had, what they could have is Fire and Ice, but I would have been dead to Fire and Ice. They just tapped my Titan. But if I block here and they have Violent Outburst, I lose to Outburst. So I think that this is the only block that makes sense. Because if my opponent had any of the cards that I lose to by blocking over here, I would be dead already. So Bone Crusher, I guess, if they're playing that for whatever reason. And again, like, they can't have... What's his name, right? Six, 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Up to 9 mana. My opponent is shocked. But they drew something that couldn't have killed me last turn. So my suspicion is that they have another Force of Vigor. Well, we can't play around it, right? Like, I just don't attack. And I just backed for Dragon Lord. So that's what I'm thinking about. Isn't that agreeing? Yeah. So this is Absan. And this is like... So I'm trying to think what I can and I can't play around. Well, Atomic Donuts, I don't have to go for it, right? Like, I'm not that far behind. And that's the thing. Like, if I were far behind, it would be just like, yeah, sure, like, whatever. Let's just go for it. But I can transmute for Dragon Lord. I can transmute for... I can transmute for Dragon Lord. I can transmute for Dryad. I can transmute for Gargs. I can attack with this Titan. I cannot attack with this Titan. Like, if I attack with Titan, what do I do? I honestly think that the play here is... I think that the play here is transmute, pact for Dragon Lord, play Dragon Lord, pass. Next turn, I pay for pact. I guess I pay for pact here. I attack. Get bounced and transmute. I guess I still need an untapped land in order for this to work. So if I don't attack... I can't Dryad next turn unless I also top deck an untapped land. So I think the play is going to be Serb. Because I need to attack. And I'm going to attack and find another T-West and Growth Chamber. Just so I have more extra green sources. I wish I didn't have to attack. And I could save the decision to attack next turn. But I'm just not going to have the mana that I need otherwise. And I lose to Otawara. I cannot beat Otawara. And I cannot beat Leyline Binding. So those are the two cards that I can't beat. Everything else I beat. Or like Fire and Ice, right? Like Fire and Ice tap your dragon. That also kills me. So the problem is, like, if I don't attack, then I don't have lethal on the following turn, and my opponent just attacks through my Titan and my Dragon Lord, and I can't win, right? So this is the only way that I get to win this coming turn. We have to dodge 2 draws. But this is the only way that I get to guarantee the win on the following turn, because I'm going to have enough mana to go find Dryad. and not lose on the crackback, right? Yeah, if that was a bluff, that was a really good bluff for sure. But the good thing is that here we're forcing my opponent's hand, because I can effectively present lethal before actually going to attacks. So that's kind of nice there. But you only have to dodge one draw. It was a good line. Yeah, so yeah, I guess so. But like what I'm saying is like if they don't have Force of Vigor and they have Otawara instead, I lose. And I lose to Otawara and I lose to the other thing, right? I lose to Binding. But I beat everything else. And if I go for the other line... Oh, Fire and Ice. I also lose to Fire and Ice. But if I go for the other line, I not only lose to Force of Vigor, but I also lose to all of those other cards. And... yeah, I think that my line loses to the least amount of cards and still wins the game. So, I think that was the best possible line at that point. Okay, so wrapping this up, this kind of worked out better than I expected. I'm not gonna say like, oh yeah, new Amulet staple, Threats Undetected, right? But it was not embarrassing. Like, it was actually pretty good in many different situations. It was good that I was also playing. This is obviously like the 61st card in the 61 card deck, so like because I wanted to draw it more often, and I did. And like every time I drew it, it was kind of fine. Like one time it was in my opening hand and it was really clunky, so I had to mulligan it away. But whenever I drew it, it was actually doing what I wanted it to do, which was nice. Also, it's nice how your opponent doesn't know what you have in hand as well. So like I cast this with a Titan in hand once, and my opponent did not want to give them a Titan, which is understandable. But like they gave me the Dryad instead, which is what I actually needed. So that worked out very nicely. I also suspect that a lot of people are just going to immediately basically put the Primetime and the Colossus back in the deck. But Colossus is very bad very often. So like it's one of those things where, you know, your opponent may look at it and be scared of it, but in reality, like it's your last card in hand, so like the card actually sucks. So I don't know, you know, how much value you can get from this. This was fun at least, right? Like casting Gifts Ungiven is fantastic, and casting Gifts Ungiven for creature is even better because creatures are obviously better than any card. Like why would they even give you the choice? You know, Dragon Lord Ramoka was kind of nice. Like, it stabilized very easily in a variety of matchups, and it just sat there, and like nothing could kill it, which is kind of fine, which is just kind of funny. So that's cool. But besides that, this looks like a fantastic FNM deck list. Like, if I had a copy of this card, I would slam it at FNM. Like, I would just go so hard on this card for FNM. Probably I'm not gonna be registering this in any showcase anytime soon. So that's like the difference. As far as Krasis, like I don't know. I thought that Star is considered 0 power in while in the deck, but when we cast one of the Threats Undetected, it allowed me to find both Cultivator and Grazer. So if that doesn't work, then I think I'd rather have like one singleton Krasis instead of Dragonlord, and then like skew more towards blue, and then, you know, have more Krasis in the sideboard for like the blue Steve package in the sideboard and whatever. So I don't know if that's a bug. Like, it could very easily be a moto bug, and I should not be able to get both of them. But if that's how it actually is supposed to work, then I think I would err towards that. Still not sold on this card. Like, just 2 copies is not impactful enough. We have no way of cantripping into it, so you're just like hoping that it works out, and it's probably not going to most of the time. So a little bit awkward there, but yeah, 4-1 is not bad for a meme Threats Undetected deck list, right? So it's not a bug, it's how it works. Okay, good to know then. Good to know. That's gonna be it for me, chat. Thank you so much for checking this out. If you're interested in supporting the content, you can do so with something as simple as subscribing and hitting that like button, or you can do so by actually giving me money through Patreon, through donations, or if you're interested in coaching, that's also an option available to you. You can find all the information in the description of the video down below. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.